Hello everyone. I am making videos, obviously you can see by the title. So I'm just going to jump right in and start talking. I have made this video before, and then it was more of a video response because the video that I'd seen on this subject was from a YouTuber that I know, and so I was kind of reacting to his video. But I'm not going to make it about that. I'm just going to make it kind of a broader thing. Also, anytime I get an update, it seems that it resets my settings, and so it reset my mic levels, which means where the way I speak, I'm used to being in front of people or using a microphone, and you kind of have to broadcast. That's how they, if it's a microphone, they take your whatever. So I talk loud, especially when I'm passionate, and so me broadcasting my voice, I'm using this mic, it came across all distorted, and I was like, I'm just gonna go with it because it was a 20-some minute video, but I was like, eh. So we're going to redo this today. Obviously, this is about the witches binding Trump. There was a several posts, and the ones that I'm finding now are not with. The funny thing is they're not really with websites that are they're witchy, you know what I mean? They're articles from random. There's one from AOL.com, there's one from Breitbart, which I wouldn't even believe, Twitter.com, NYPost.com, UKnews.yahoo.com, let's see, there's one at the top, Mike.com. So it's kind of been sensationalized. So, but I'm going to give my 2 cents on the subject. Now, I'm watching sometimes, I just looked at this, and there's a post, I don't want it to reset, Witchcraft, Paganism, and Wiccan. And she obviously did not like the post, and then she got thoroughly bashed by people who, on both sides of the fence. I mean, she wasn't only bashed, but they were fighting on her thread. So, but this one is from the Chicagoist.com. Chicago Witches, Cast and Hex. Okay, so first of all, I think the people writing these articles are sensationalizing it, which is going to cause fear and panic and, whatever else. I also saw that there were some Christian religions who were, even after it was explained in detail what a binding was to not cause harm, it was not a hex, it was not to curse him, it was just to simply stop him from doing harm to other people. It was just, so there's no harm. And then right afterwards, it posted that this Christian thing was going to pray not for him to stop doing harm, but to pray against us for doing satanic rituals. And I'm saying us in a general term, witches. Pray against them with a psalm from the Bible. I would assume against witchcraft. I didn't look it up. I don't follow that book, so you know what I mean? I don't really care what it says. So, but that's the thing, is that it was revamped to me. I mean, I was like, how do you even read the article and they explain in detail what binding means, what all of that means, and it comes across very, very positive. We just don't want harm done. We want to stop the harm. We don't want him to inflict harm, and I know I keep saying harm, but and then to think that that's satanic, how can stopping harm be satanic? When they specifically, sorry, I have something on my arm, specifically said that they weren't cursing or hexing or anything like that. I just don't get how people think. It's just, and those people are crazy, just so you know. People that think that way that are, even with provided evidence, still have to go that way, they're crazy. They have mental issues. Just so you know, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So, after watching some of the fellow YouTubers' videos, I'm kind of on the side with, I'm for binding. I think it would have been or I didn't participate because I was at work, and then I got home and I started doing other stuff, and then it dawned on me, because I made my other video was yesterday, so it was the 25th. These are all set for the 24th on the waning moon. Yeah. So I didn't participate. But I had shared the post. So there was even a rant video about people even sharing this. And so I was like, well, you know what? I'm the culprit. I'm a culprit. I didn't read the post. I saw it. I thought it was interesting, like by the title. And I let people, when I post things to my page, I don't always agree with them. I think it provokes thought and discussion, so I share it. And then I wait for other people. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm in a hurry, and I'm like, if I'm on a break at work and I'm just scrolling, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what this is. I'll share it. And then I go back later and read it. And I know that's probably not the best practice, but that's the way I work. So if you don't like that, then don't follow my page. But I share it, and then you'll know if it's something that I'm like or passionate or I disagree with, because I always will comment on it while I'm posting it to my page. You know what I mean? So like, I shared something about celebrity Wiccans earlier today, and I thought it was funny, so I posted, this is, something a little off cuff, something funny, I don't even know what I said, but something like that. So you'll know if I mean it. Otherwise, if I post it and it's just shared, it's just because I saw it on the internet and I wanted to find out what other people thought. That being said, I want to explain some things. I know some people were saying, "Oh, well, this was stolen from the, or not stolen, but taken from the movie The Craft, and blah blah blah, and it won't work, and it's stupid." And I was like, well, first of all, I believe it would work. It's all about intent. So if that's what somebody is using to focus their intent, why wouldn't it work? Somebody came up with it. They crafted that spell. Even if they weren't practitioners, they crafted the spell. So it's probably been and then they sold it as part of their script or whatever, but it's probably been sensationalized to make it look more supernatural or what have you. But in this case, the binding spell that they did in the movie The Craft, if you have not seen it, was the character named Sarah was binding the character named Nancy from doing harm. She had a picture of Nancy, and she wrapped it with a white ribbon, and she was chanting, "I bind you, Nancy, from doing harm against others, and harm against yourself." And she was repeating it. And in the movie, the binding was focused on harm, doing no harm. So it didn't mummify them. They weren't able to not move or talk or speak. That's not the binding that was portrayed. That's not the thought behind it. It was the binding from doing harm. So in the movie, it bound her from being able to spell Sarah, go after her with magic, or also physical harm, because at one point they have a confrontation, and then she says one more thing and starts to re-chant the binding. "I bind you, Nancy, blah 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 blah," and in doing so, Nancy freaks out, pulls out a knife, goes at Sarah, and it starts flailing like ah! So in doing that, if you notice, the knife never hits Sarah. It goes here, it goes here, it goes above her, it goes like by above her shoulder, but it was like it slid off because the spell had an invisible barrier. You couldn't see it. It didn't even have the hint of being there, but she couldn't hurt her with the knife. That's from the binding spell. And I think that's what some of these witches that were going to do this ritual were in hopes of doing, is binding him from doing harm against others and harm against himself. And I think that even he's so crazy, this President Trump is so crazy that he doesn't understand that everything he's doing is even detrimental to his people and to himself. And the scary part is that people are so stupid that follow him that they're doing it against their own well-being, their own lives. I'm lost for thought there. So now I saw this post, the one I showed you on my phone. It says Chicago witches cast hex against president near Trump Tower. Okay, so I'm assuming that Chicago people went to New York. Social medias were all over Twitter today with calls from a mass spell casting to bind Trump to those who do his bidding. But our favorite social activist, Coven, was ahead of the curve again, as Witch performed a ritual resistance action over the weekend to ward off the evil ways of the demon-in-chief. That's kind of funny. The performers, known as Witch, gathered across from Trump Tower on Sunday, a standalone satellite protest of sorts on a day that saw thousands of people march through the loop to mark the 1-month anniversary of President Trump's inauguration. Hundreds marched the following afternoon, not my President's Day. Presidents seem to drag black just in capes, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, so I guess this is a group. It's a performance group. I don't know them. I don't know if they're actual witches or if they're just performers. But they put on this ritual near Trump Tower and bound. Now, okay, so I don't think it's stupid. I think that spellcraft can come from anywhere. Being a huge nerd, a gamer and movie lover, and I love everything witchy as far or everything that's kind of supernatural, from superhero to witch. You know what I mean? Like anything, all that. I love all of that. And so I made a video a while back where I have the smaller version of the entire book of shadows from the show Charmed. Now, I keep it over, actually on the top of a box that's on my altar. I cleansed it just so I could put it there, and I think they're interesting. Now, some of them are a little not my speed as far as wording and stuff like that, but why wouldn't they work? As long as it focuses your intent, they would work. And here's the other thing, is that whichever side of the fence you're on, you have to think about it this way. What is the difference between rituals performing a binding ritual to stop harm so that the president can't do harm to himself or to others, or praying for him to see the error of his ways? The only difference is we're a little more... No, can't even say that, because I've seen some prayer circles and prayer stuff that is really over the top. So I don't see the difference. I don't see the difference. There's no different distinction in my head unless, what have you. Now, there is a web page. I started to say unless, but I don't really have anything to say there. The crazy website Breitbart had the one that said that witches were uniting to cast a spell, and you were using black magic. Now that's just to incite panic and fear. I can't speak for every witch. I can't speak for those witches. I can't even speak if they're real witches. Or actually just doing it to freak people out. I think that there are a number of times that stuff like this is shot, and the people are actually Christians, and they just put on some witchy garb, and they do this kind of thing to freak people out, so that, we have to be against witches. I know that's kind of conspiracy theory, but I've seen it. I witnessed it. So I can't, like I said, I can't speak for people that are doing quote unquote black magic, but, and I hate those terms, but, you know, left hand path, darker side, whatever you want to say, however you've labeled that in your head. I know we don't like to use labels sometimes, but I think it also helps us understand what I'm talking about. So, unless you're going to sacrifice a cat or a person and bathe in their blood and dance around and whatever, it's not black. Unless you're wishing to do harm to this man, if you're only wishing to stop harm, then it's not dark. Now, with all this sensationalism and all this public rituals and stuff like that, yes, it's going to make the public question. I think it's on the approach. You know what I mean? If you're going to be all creepy and shit and be out on the street and do stuff that could be construed as scary or dark, then you're shedding a bad light on real witches that are just trying to stop him from doing harm. But if you're doing your ritual with heart, and I mean, I can't tell you how to do it. I can't tell anyone how to practice their craft. It's not mine. It's not my place. I can say that I disagree with it or I agree with it, but it's not my place to tell you whether it's, and now if I don't agree with it, fine. I might think it's a little stupid or what have you, but that's just my opinion. And my opinion is like, everyone has opinions. Just like everyone has assholes. So, you know what I mean? It just, whatever, do your thing. Do you. My thing is, with everything in life that I've come to believe or I've learned over time, or, you know, it's kind of like a base thing that I knew growing up, is that if it's a decision between consensual adults, whatever it is, I don't have the right to tell them not to do it. Even technically, if I don't think it's healthy, or if I mean, I can voice my opinion to them, but I don't think it's anyone's right, as long as there's no malice or harm, and people are consensually doing it. I think the consensual part overrides some of the other. Have at it. But I don't think it's anyone's place to be barking out orders at people and telling them that they're stupid or they should not be doing it. That's your opinion. If you don't want to participate, don't participate. But let the people that do. I also thought about it this way, is if someone like myself, a solitary, or even a coven, or somewhere where they're rural, or they can't get to a city, they do stuff online, but maybe they can't really do things, and this is how they feel like they can help. That this is how they connect. This is how they put in their part, is to perform a ritual where they bind the harm that is being blatantly put out. I go for it. I know that I have done a ritual since pre-election, and usually I stopped recently, but I was doing it. I did it every day for 7 days. Excuse me. And then after that, I revisited it at least once a week. And that was for healing and understanding and to stop the harm, basically. I don't think I worded it as harm. I didn't do a binding, but I mean, I guess you can construe that spellcraft as kind of a binding. But I just wanted the negativity to stop. Is that wrong? It might be in your eyes, but guess what? It's my ritual. I'm solitary. I don't answer to anyone, so I don't give a fuck. That's blatantly honest. I had something else too, and I just lost my train of thought. This happened last time. It had to do with um, making your own decisions. I just think that some of the stuff that's happening, deportation, people being drug out that are being treated for brain tumors and put in a detention area, and just, I mean, barbaric stuff. And I think I just read an article where the governor of Washington signed an executive order for his state to not follow executive orders from the Trump administration. So we're coming to a point here, and it's what side you're going to be on. And to me, the right side is the non-harm side, the all-inclusive, no hate spewing, no one's better than everybody else side. If you're watching my video and you're a Christian and you think this is correct, I mean, I'm not saying all Christians, I'm saying Christians, because personally, I don't believe if you think that this is okay, you're not Christian. The second part is, if you're going to lash out or you supported Trump, you don't get a pass in my book. I know some people are saying, get the fuck over it, he won, what have you. Yeah, he won, or he's in office. I don't think it was fair. I think it was should be investigated, because I think there was a lot of illegalities there. If there's not, there's not. The investigation won't find anything. But if there is, I have the right to know, and I have the right to have him impeached or removed from office, or the election nullified, or whatever. Yes, I would like to see it happen. Do I think it's going to? I'm not sure. But I would like to see all the evidence, and I would hope that the people that are supposed to have our best interests are going forth with this. But I didn't vote for him. Which doesn't mean anything here or there. He's still got the Electoral College. Do I think the Electoral College, that's a whole different story. I don't think it should be around. But no one's got rid of him, so we're stuck. So he's in office, yes. Does that mean I roll over and let him screw me? Basically? No! I'm not going to stand idly by and do nothing. That's not how anything in the past has ever been won. By just letting people get away with stuff that you know is not right. You have to bring it to light. You have to state your case. You have to fight. Not physically or violently, but you have to, hey, these are my beliefs. I believe your beliefs are infringing on everyone else's belief. If you wish malice on any person for any reason, you're in the wrong, in my eyes. So, yes, he's there, but does that mean that I roll over and let it happen? The fuck no. No, that does not happen. I'm going to stand up for everything I believe. Always. That's the person I am. And if you don't like it, guess what? I've unfriended my family. I've unfriended my friends. I've stopped speaking to them. I've deleted their numbers on my cell phone. If you can't support me as a person and respect me, because I'm sorry, all the hateful shit that administration has said during, even if it was just to get elected, he still either, you can't go back now and say, I didn't really mean it. Bullshit. You don't get a pass because you say I'm sorry. I don't care what religion you follow. It's just your actions speak louder than words. So you don't get a pass. He doesn't get a pass for speaking all this hatred because you didn't like Hillary. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Listen to yourself. I think that everyone else in the world is lesser. I don't really agree with the white supremacist things, or the against blacks things, or the against Latinos things, or the against gays things. But I didn't like Hillary. You're a fucking idiot. That ideology is idiotic, I should say. I don't mean you personally are an idiotic. Maybe you're just not understanding, or maybe you are in denial. But nobody gets a pass in my book that spews that kind of stuff. If you can't respect me, eye for an eye. So anyway, it's getting long. My video is about 25 minutes. So if you have any questions or comments, put them in the box below. Hit me up on social media. It's on my channel, YouTube channel banner is the links. Be constructive, or I'll just delete you and block you. It's not that hard. So I hope this wasn't too over the top for you guys, but those are some of my, and I'm thinking off loud. I'm obviously not rehearsed. I'm not reading it off my thing. All I got here is mail. So, yeah, talking off cuff. So if, what are you doing? Dog is being weird. Try and keep it cool. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Blessed be.